Welcome to Secret Dealers. I'm about to let our team of antiques dealers into two houses they've never seen before. With thousands of pounds of their own money at stake, they'll be competing against one another.
Come on, do my untraded thing.
To try and buy the best items using secret bids.
I'm going to be crazy and put a stupid price on it.
And in today's show, a gold cigarette case proves a surprise for everyone.
Oh my goodness, that's quite a lot of money. Ka-ching.
For our first house, we're off to Essex. And carefully arranged inside this neat semi is a stunning collection of antique card cases used by wealthy Georgian and Victorian gentlemen for carrying their calling cards. They all belong to Roger, who lives here with his wife and two young daughters.
I'm fascinated with the social side, but when someone called upon someone in Victorian times, it was the dumb thing to carry a card case, and then you panned out your visiting card to the butler, and it's just all part of the social etiquette back then, which I find fascinating.
He's been collecting card cases for 6 years, but now he wants to sell some of them.
Well, I'd like to try and raise some money to possibly have my eyes lasered, because I've been wearing glasses since I was about 10.
But some items in his collection will be harder to part with than others.
I bought this about 6 years ago at an antiques fair in Chelmsford, and this is what sparked my interest in collecting card cases. This is an Austrian enamel card case made in about 1885 with gilt interior. The enamel's perfect, and I'll be very reluctant to let that one go.
As well as card cases, Roger also has a valuable collection of other small boxes, including this gold cigarette case, which he bought a couple of years ago at a local auction and would happily sell if the price was right.
Why little boxes?
Well, I guess because I don't live in such a big mansion, that the smaller items are easier to store. They don't take up a lot of room.
So, you started with just one, presumably, and it's snowballed. What does the family think about this?
They think I've got a little problem. I can't help it. Once I see a nice card case that takes my eye, I just have to try and buy it, really.
You're quite attached to these, aren't you?
I am quite attached to them, but I'm not attached to all of them to the same degree, so if the money's right, then sure, I don't mind letting some things go.
OK, well, we'll see. It's going to be interesting.
It is going to be interesting, yeah.
Time for Roger to leave the house and to introduce the dealers who will hopefully be piling on the pressure. Ian, Alison and Tim.
Now, an avid collector lives in this house, and you'll soon see what he is a collector of.
Well, we better get on then, haven't we?
Go and have a look.
Yeah,
Let's go and have a look. You need to be down.
Oh,
These three dealers know a thing or two about card cases, so I'm sure we will be seeing some big money spent today.
Yeah.
Golden boy Ian Towning is based in upmarket Chelsea, and the first thing he spots isn't a card case, but an unusual engraved silver snuff box.
Very lovely. It's 19th century. It's Russian, and it is pre-revolution. The hallmark is here, very clear. You've got the maker's mark, which is quite a clear mark. You can see in the lid and in the base. And this is very, very, very lovely. So definitely have to put a bit down on this.
The engraving on this box has been blackened. It's called Niello work and is typical of 19th century Russian silver. While Ian is a bit of an impulsive buyer, Alison takes a much more methodical approach. She's in the dining room and has found Roger's precious green enamel card case.
gilded interior, lovely silver engine turn decoration. Then they'd have gilded it, and then they would have enamelled it. If I go for any at all, it would be that one, and the rest are pretty much for muchness.
But aren't you going to leave a bid?
If there's nothing else for me to buy, I will. I'm hoping that this is the start of bigger things.
That's a dangerous game, Alison, and you could miss out. Tim is not hesitating to put down bids on lots of Roger's card cases. Back in Victorian times, the type of card case a gentleman carried his calling cards in said a lot about how well off he was. And if he was really well off, he had a silver case like this one, made by celebrated silversmith Nathaniel Mills, the must-have name for collectors today.
Yeah, very nice. I need to make a strong bid on that. Down there.
In the living room, Ian has certainly been making lots of bids, and nothing escapes his notice either.
Oh God, I wish I had stilettos on.
He's found a silver-plated claret jug.
Look at that. Isn't that lovely little detail? Absolutely beautiful. But you know, I really like it. I'm going to be crazy and put a stupid price on it.
Ooh, I can't wait to find out what he's bid. Now, Alison is in the garden and looking for a hand. Well, 4 hands, actually.
Wouldn't mind them in my garden. Oh, yes.
Up in the master bedroom, Tim's got his hands all over the gold cigarette case Roger bought at auction.
It's 9 carat gold. Now, the thing is, with the gold price being so high, the value is all in the material, with it being gold. Ooh. And it's very heavy. It weighs a lot of money.
Well, it would need to be a heavyweight bid, as knowing the other 2 dealers, I think there could be a lot of competition for this. Tim seems to have the upstairs to himself, while downstairs, Alison finds she's got a lot of catching up to do.
Oh, there's quite a lot of red bids going on there.
Oh, I know, that tanning chap, he's everywhere. He's like the Scarlet Pimpernel.
But it's not long before Roger's tree is blossoming with yellow cards too, which is good news for Roger, who wanted to raise money to have his eyes lasered. Now, in the dining room is a small pewter casket. It's made by German metalware manufacturer WMF, whose Art Nouveau designs of the early 20th century are now very collectible and fetch hundreds of pounds.
Very lovely box.
Ian has made straight for it.
Cleaned up a little bit.
Nice
Not
box.
very much.
Found the mark?
Found the mark, WMF. I have an amazing collector for it.
Do you?
Yeah. So, I know I can sell it.
Fantastic. We need a good bid then.
Roger wants to raise money to have his eyes lasered, and he's invited our secret dealers into his home to make him offers on his prized collection of card cases. Previously, Tim was stuck in the bedroom, but now he's made it to the living room, there could be some serious rivalry. He spotted the claret jug Ian adored.
I don't know how Ian got up there.
And he also spots the unusual Russian snuff box.
It's a nice thing. Chelsea again.
There's some tough competition for Roger's best pieces. However, so far, no one has put a bid on Roger's favourite enamel card case.
Wow.
But with time running out, all that could be about to change.
I will say, green is not the easiest color to sell in anything. It's always hell. Avoid green. But this is so tempting. I'm going to bid on it anyway. Let's see what happens.
What were you saying about green? What's the matter with green?
I am so sorry. I know, my darling, you're wearing green.
No, seriously though, is it not a popular colour?
No. Green is one of the most difficult colors to sell.
Isn't that interesting? But that, I mean, the condition of that, the
Superb.
enamelling is super quality.
Yeah, lovely
You've got to
quality.
complain about something, haven't you, Ian?
You know, absolutely. We can't be happy about everything. No, it's a high bid, but there you go. I'm being told. He knows what he's talking about. Let's see what happens.
Upstairs it was all blue, but now it's turning yellow as Alison gets to work, and she's weighing up that heavy gold cigarette case that gave Tim a bit of a surprise.
It's got a good weight. And we're looking at 95 grams.
That's a lot of gold and could be a lot of money for Roger should he decide to sell. And he could have some tough decisions ahead,
That's very pretty.
as Tim has also found his star card case.
Absolutely. I think it's fabulous. Just beautiful. I've got to give Ian a run for his money.
While Tim works out how much he might have to pay for this stunning piece, with only minutes left, Ian enters the contest for Roger's gold cigarette case.
I like it. I might keep it. Don't tell my partner. I've got enough gold to sink a battleship without adding to it.
And just in the nick of time, Tim takes Alison in hand.
And I want to know why you have not bid
I'm
on
getting
this.
round there. There's pieces I've left
This is
because
absolutely beautiful.
we were coming
That is-
back. I'm doing it now.
Thanks to Tim, that's 3 bids on the enamel card case too. What happened to Alison's game plan?
There was too much in the house for me.
Too much.
Where's time to go? We're in the garden.
We're in the garden.
Back you go.
In total, the dealers bid on 36 items. But what do they most want to go home with?
Most of all, I would like the WMF box because I know I have somebody who would absolutely adore it.
The thing that I would like to buy is probably the Russian snuff box because it's just Russian and you just don't see a lot of Russian things around, so fingers crossed.
And probably my favourite item is the green case. That was very fine. So I think if I went with anything, it'd be that.
Time to get Roger back in and reveal to him the total amount of cash that he could bank today.
In this envelope is the amount that's on the table today.
Wow. That's quite a lot. £7,381. I'm quite pleased with that.
So what are you thinking about what you might sell?
I couldn't say. I'm obviously going to have to let some of me nice things go if I want my eyes lazy, put it that way.
Roger's going to have to make some difficult decisions. First, it's the WMF pewter casket. Roger paid £300 for it, and now Ian wants to buy it.
Roger, tell me about this box.
I bought this off the internet. It took me eye because of its shape, really.
It's got the right mark underneath for WMF, the German factory. And one dealer has left you a bid on this.
Okay.
Ian says £300. Tell me what you're thinking.
That's close to what I paid for it. He's got himself a buy.
We've got a sale.
Excellent.
You might like to know the independent valuation on this is between 200 and 300. So I think that is a very strong bid.
Yeah, no, I'm quite pleased with that.
I can just pick up the phone and sell it. Marvellous buy.
Great, smiles all round. Next, it's the unusual Russian snuff box that Tim would like to be taking home.
This little box is particularly interesting. Tell me about this one.
Well, I found it interesting because it depicts a military scene where Russia was fighting with the Turkish, and on the back, if you look, there's some fire ships which they used. So it's quite packed with history and it's in quite good condition also.
2 bids. Ian says 175.
That's outrageous. No.
Independent valuation is between £300 and £500. Tim says 210.
No, that's miles away.
So it's an easy decision.
Oh, that's a very easy decision, yeah.
No sale.
No sale.
What did you pay, Roger?
595. That was an internet buy, so
Right.
I think the bidding got a little out of control, but I think it's worth that myself, so I'm happy to keep that one.
Hey-ho, he's obviously given top money for it, and 210 wasn't top money.
I would have gone to 300 in the hopes of getting 400, 380 for it, somewhere in that region. But I imagine he's paid a lot for it.
I wonder how Ian and Tim will fare on the claret jug, which is next. It might only be silver plate, but Ian really liked it.
Roger, where did this claret jug come from?
I bought that at auction about 4 years ago, but we actually use that at dinner parties.
How do you feel about selling this?
Oh, I've become a little bit more attached to that than I thought I would have since we use it quite often, but it'd be interesting to see what the guys have left.
Tim's bid you £200.
No, that's not enough.
Well, that's a clear decision.
Yeah.
The independent valuation
Okay.
is between £200 and £300. Ian's bid you £275.
No, that's a fair offer. but I don't think I want to sell that.
What did you pay for it at auction?
$240.
So you're in profit. Cash today. I can see you're very undecided here.
I am undecided.
I'm going to bring Tim and Ian back in and see if they'll consider giving you another bid, which might just tip you over the edge.
OK, yeah, we'll see if we can tweak him a little.
Come on in, boys. Roger, meet Ian.
Hello, Ian. Nice to meet you.
And Tim.
Hello,
Nice to meet you, Roger.
Nice to meet you.
Boys, we're talking about the claret jug.
Yes.
275 is on the table. Now, I actually think that is a very fair bid, but Roger is not prepared to sell it at that. He is very attached to it, but he might be tempted if you consider, either of you, giving a slightly higher offer.
Because I've had enjoyment using it, I think I'll be prepared to let somebody else enjoy using it if you could see your way to 300.
Oh.
Oh?
If you do want to rebid, have a scribble.
Have a scribble? Okay. Let's see what happens.
2 new bids. Ian says 325.
Okay.
Tim says 299. Very pedantic.
No, I'd be willing to let it go for 325.
325.
Yeah.
We have a deal, gentlemen.
We have it.
Outstanding.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ian.
I thought I should have it, and I've run out of them at the shop, and it won't last long. It will sell very quickly.
He's going to be able to sell that in Chelsea. So, yeah, good luck to him.
Also going back to Chelsea is a Victorian embossed silver box Ian paid £190 for, while Alison bought 2 little silver Victorian boxes, one in the shape of a heart and the other beautifully embossed with 2 figures. But will Roger sell his prized silver enamelled card case that all the dealers bid on?
Oh, Roger, look what we've got here.
Yeah, it's my favourite card case out of my whole collection. I bought that at an antiques fair in Chelmsford a few years ago, and that caught my eye immediately. I thought, oh, that one's coming home with me.
What nationality is it?
That's Austrian.
Austrian, about 1870, 1880 in date?
Yeah, around 1880, yeah.
3 bids, Roger.
I can't wait to see what they've wrote down.
3 bids. Ian says 225.
Obviously, green's not his colour. What can you say?
Not good.
No, that's not good at all. No.
Sorry, Ian. Tim says 300.
No, I'm pleased with this because it's not going anywhere.
Independent valuation on this is actually between £300 and £400. Now that's based on an auction value. Are you going to give us a clue what you paid?
$620 for that.
Did you?
Oh yeah, I was happy to pay it as well.
No.
If I saw another one, I'd buy it tomorrow.
We've got 1 bid left. Alison, 390.
No, thank God. Thank God it was nowhere near close what I paid for it. That's not going anywhere.
So we got no sale.
No sale.
I wanted it and knew I wanted to go with it, so I didn't muck about when I put my bid down. I put the top end of where I wanted to be.
That's a brave man to pay £620 for that. Much braver than me.
Well, Roger obviously really cherishes that card case, and he had others that he just wouldn't sell either, including 2 by Nathaniel Mills. Tim offered £400 for one, and Alison £265 for the other. And Ian was disappointed when Roger turned down his bid for a gorgeous French enamelled card case. And what about the hands? Well, he kept those too. Which brings us to the gold cigarette case Roger would be happy to sell. It weighed in at a whopping 95 grams.
Tell me about this.
This is a gold cigarette case I picked up at a local auction a few years ago. I liked it because of its shape and its condition, really.
Want to sell it?
You know, if the price is right.
OK. Shall we have a look?
Oh, let's.
Because we have 3 bids here,
Good.
Roger.
It's good news.
Ian says 450.
That's not bad. It's not enough. It's not bad.
You look half tempted, though.
No, I'm not.
Not bad from Ian, but not enough.
No, it's not enough. No.
Tim says £910.
Oh my goodness. That's quite a lot of money.
It's quite a big chunk towards getting your eyes lasered, isn't it?
That is. I'm quite impressed with that.
Tempted?
Yes, tempted, yeah.
Alison says £968.
They obviously like it, don't they?
There's quite a lot of gold in there. 9-carat gold.
Yeah, I'll be willing to sell that.
£968.
That's fantastic.
It's coming to you.
Good, brilliant.
What did you pay for it at auction?
$5.20.
Not a bad profit.
Ka-ching.
I think that Alison paid a really strong price for the gold cigarette case.
Turn that money around, make 60 quid and I'm done.
So it's profits all round, but a massive result for Roger. In total, the dealers bid on over £7,000 worth of Roger's collectibles. Time now to find out how much he sold and how much cash you could pocket in today's competition.
So, are you happy with the prices that you sold things for?
Yes, I am, yeah. Yeah, no, I made some profit on some and a small loss on some others, but I don't mind that.
You have made today, Roger, 1,000, have that, £2,871.
That is fantastic, and that means I can go and get my eyes lasered.
For our next house, we're off to the West Midlands. Inside this home are the telltale signs of a family who simply love to collect. Chris and Janet have lived here for over 20 years and have made a hobby of browsing local auctions and markets, buying keepsakes for the house.
Most of these things that you see around you might look like a lot of bits and pieces, but each one means something to us, and it reminds us of where we've been, where we've bought it, and probably the town or city we've bought it from.
Now they have plans to retire to Cornwall and want to raise some cash to refurbish their swimming pool before putting the house on the market. This means selling some of their treasured buys, such as these Troika vases that remind them of Cornwall. And this delicate pair of 19th century candelabra made by Sitsendorf. Chris paid £300 for them 16 years ago and gave them to Janet as a present.
I don't think there's anything missing off them. They're in the same condition as the day we bought them.
Let's hope the dealer gives us a good price for them on the day.
Janet and Chris, you've got collectibles from almost every decade of the 20th century, and they're set against explosions of sort of 70s design.
It's just we see things, we like them, so we buy them.
Now, is there anything amongst all these collectibles that you really wouldn't want to part with?
There's nothing really specific that I'd want to hold on for any price.
Generally speaking, anything can go.
That's just what the dealers like. Time for Janet and Chris to move out and Tim, Karen and Brenda to move in.
Now, I have a large 4-bedroom house for you. And in amongst the collectibles you see here, there are a few hidden treasures.
Sounds interesting.
Off we go, Tim.
Karen deals in a wide range of 19th and 20th century ceramics.
£140 they paid for them.
Tim loves a bit of jewellery.
What money in gold?
And it's lucky for Chris and Janet that our third dealer, Brenda, collects German porcelain. She has immediately spotted the candelabra that Chris gave to Janet, but they are not in quite as good condition as he thinks.
They're quite nice. They have been restored round here, and I think he's also had some work done here. There's a flower gone here. There's a thumb been restored. Let's have a look at this one. And again, the branch has been broken at some point here, so there's damage on here. But I will leave a bid on those because they're quite attractive.
With all that damage, they could be worth a lot less than Chris and Janet were hoping for. And the news isn't much better for the Troika. Troika was set up in the 1960s in Cornwall by 3 potters. The rough textures and abstract designs of their work became immediately popular.
There's a Troika, but I can also see a hairline even from here. Oh, look, it's just a little hairline in the front. And mine, it's worth the bid.
Today, Troika has a massive following and collectors can pay hundreds of pounds for the right piece. Upstairs, Tim is after one thing.
Oh, found a bit of gold.
This gold bracelet is one of the few pieces in the house inherited from Chris's mother.
Little 9-carat bracelet here. Little Edwardian bracelet, so we're going to leave a bid on that. 15.8 grams of 9-carat gold, and gold is very high at the moment. So I've left a very, very strong bid on that.
But will Chris be able to part with it? Now, some dealers are specialists, but Brenda likes to appeal to a broad range of markets, and she selected 3 30s Dalton character jugs to bid on.
I'm putting these 3 together because they're all of a medium size. So if I get a collector coming in from overseas, it's something easy to pack to take back abroad on an aeroplane.
2 things you'd never pack in your suitcase are those Sitsendorf Candelabra. Brenda wants them, but so does Karen.
There we go. I think that's a Sitsendorf mark. I'd expect them to be Sitsendorf, but they're actually decent quality. Yes. Let's leave a bid on this. Get excited.
So despite the damage, that's 2 bids now for the candelabra. Upstairs in the bedroom, Tim seems to be interested in only one thing.
That watch is gold.
But Tim's not going to get it all his own way.
Colours on that. Oh, what have we got, Timmy? Have we got a bit of gold, Timmy?
We might have that.
Tim, what's the weight?
15 grams.
9 carat.
9 carat, yeah.
Okay.
Look at it. Look at the eyes going.
Are you sure it's 9 carat?
I am absolutely.
Are you that much for a gentleman that it's definitely 9 carat?
9 carat.
All right.
Do you know, honestly?
Great. Karen's leaving a rival bid on the gold bracelet. And with the pressure rising between the dealers, I'd say the forecast is looking good for Janet and Chris, which reminds me of something else I've spotted in the house.
Barometers come in all sorts of different shapes and sizes, and this is known as a wheel-shaped aneroid barometer that dates from about the 1930s. But I think it still deserves a fair bid. Let's see if the dealers spot it.
While Karen and Tim have been battling for the gold, it's the inexpensive costume jewellery that has caught Brenda's eye.
Costume jewellery is very saleable for students. They dress up for the balls and things, so things like this they can afford.
And for Karen, even the kitschest of items could have a market.
It's pretty hideous, but it's so hideous that somebody might like it. In which case, I might make money on it. Right.
Ah, I think it's rather sweet. Karen and Tim have both spotted the barometer I was telling you about. And it looks like the temperature is rising between them.
I might leave a bid on that barometer.
Might you, Timmy,
Yes,
with
I
me?
might. Yes, yeah.
You do that. There's always a danger you're going to end up with it, though.
Would you put it on for me, Karen, please?
Oh, he can be so cheeky. Brenda's got just the thing for him.
Find a Bobby's truncheon here. And then you've got the Bobby's whistle as well, which is quite nice. I'll leave a little bid on that because it's a little bit of fun. Boy's toy.
She's trying to buy for everybody today, but she's in danger of losing what she wanted most for herself. Tim has now got his mitts all over those delicate Sitsendorf candelabra.
A bit of damage there. But they're quite commercial in a flashy sort of way.
Great, all 3 dealers really like the candelabra. That could be good news for Chris and Janet. And it just gets better, as with minutes to spare, Tim finds the Troika.
Oh, a bit of Troika.
And is interested in another vase that Karen amazingly missed.
2 pieces. That's quite nice, that shape. Might leave a bid. And obviously somebody has been here before me.
Lissy, I want a word. You've left a bid on a Troika vase. Did you see the other one?
Other one?
Yeah.
Right, let me out.
There's another one in there.
I didn't see it. Hang on, there's another one apparently.
You missed it now. You've had your opportunity, you know.
What are you going to bid? Hang on.
I'm not telling you what I'm going to bid.
I've got to suss out your bid here.
Come on, do your mind reading thing.
Right, here we go. There's my bid.
Right.
Okay, everybody, time's up. Brenda, time's up.
Don't shout at me!
Well, all the bids are in and there's no prize for guessing what's on the top of Brenda's list.
The item I particularly liked was the German porcelain candlesticks. I collect Sitsendorf and all the German porcelains.
The girls are always stiff competition, so I bet I haven't bought anything against them too.
Well, I left a bid on something I didn't really like. The birds, the singing birds, but I disliked them so much I had to leave a bid.
Time to get Chris and Janet back and find out how much money the secret dealers have offered them.
Well, in this envelope is the total sum of what's been bid on today.
Crikey.
Right. £1,640. Wow.
Crikey. That's more than I thought it would be.
Very interesting.
Our secret dealers have left over £1,500 of bids on Chris and Janet's precious collection. But now they have to decide what to keep and what to sell. First up, it's that 9-carat gold bracelet that belonged to Chris's mother.
Is it something you think you might be tempted to sell?
I'm not sure, because I think it was given to me mum for her mother.
So this is a real family piece then?
It is.
Should we have a look at the bids?
Sure, yes.
Karen has bid you £120.
Right. That's a reasonable bid, I would say.
What do you think, Janet?
I wouldn't like to say how much it was worth.
It's quite a commercial thing, and the independent valuation is between £140 and £160.
Right. What was the other bid?
Tim has bid you £145.
What do you think?
Your decision. I'm not likely to wear it at all.
I think at that price we'd let it go to you.
It's your choice.
Yeah, we'd let it go at that.
So we've got a sale.
Yes, got to say.
Any regrets? Because it was your mother's, wasn't it? And you think your grandmother's.
It was, but it's going to end up stuck in a box somewhere, never worn. So no, I'll be happy to let it go.
Fantastic. I like a bit of gold. Instant profit, you say.
That's a great start for Chris and Janet. Next up, it's that carved oak 1930s barometer that Tim bid on to wind up Karen.
So who chose the barometer?
It was me.
Chris did. Yes.
Where did this come from, Chris?
Well, I saw it advertised in our local newspaper about 20 years ago.
So what did you think when this arrived on the doorstep, Janet?
I quite liked it. I knew I'd be able to find a place for it, and it's always something that, I look at on a daily basis.
Tap it every morning.
2 bids.
Okay.
Karen and Tim want to buy this. Karen has bid you £40.
It's reasonable.
Reasonable, but a sale?
Probably not.
Well, the independent valuation for this barometer is between £50 and £75.
Yeah, that sounds about what it should be.
Tim has bid you £45. Better than Karen.
But not much better.
But £45 cash actually is a pretty fair bid.
Right.
What do you think?
I'll let you decide.
No pressure, Janet.
No. Yes.
Okay. Yeah, let that go for that.
We've got a sale.
Okay, fine.
I only bid on that just to give Karen a bit of competition.
I warned him he could have ended up with it, and he did. That'll teach him.
A good result for Chris and Janet, and I'm sure Tim will do all right out of it. Next, it's the Troika wheel vase, and with bids from Tim and Karen, is Tim about to walk away with his 3rd piece in a row?
Now, you've got 2 bits of Troika here, but tell me about this one in particular.
Bought them at a local auction in Coventry. I really wanted the coffin vase, but the other one went with it.
Well, 2 dealers want this one.
What, the wheel vase?
The wheel vase.
Really?
Tim has bid you £50.
That's not acceptable, is it?
Now, the independent valuation for this vase is between £50 and £70. So in the light of that, I think that's actually pretty fair.
I wouldn't think so.
Well, we have got another bid.
Oh, right. That's encouraging.
Karen says £60.
Right.
Tell me what you're thinking, Chris.
I think I'd rather keep it for that.
Can you remember what you paid for the 2?
They're £100 each, and that was about 7 years ago.
So final answer?
Final answer, yes.
No, they didn't sell it. Oh, okay, fair enough.
Chris and Janet also decided to keep the coffin vase, which had the hairline crack, and they turned down an offer of £70 from Tim for a 1950s ladies' gold watch. And the students of Oxford will be missing out too, as Chris and Janet decided to keep the costume jewellery Brenda bid on. Finally, it's the hotly contested pair of candelabra, which all three dealers want. Chris paid £300 for them 16 years ago and gave them to Janet as a present.
I came home and they were there on the fireplace already, but I've really enjoyed them over the years. I think they're very fine and I love the flowers.
Well, these are very heavily encrusted. They're very fragile. And I noticed that some of these branches have been broken and repaired. And I think on this one, yes, you can see the rivets here. Do you see that?
Good gracious, yes, and I've never noticed that before.
No.
So, little bit of damage, little bit of restoration. Well, the good news is we've got 3 bids down there.
Great.
Brenda has bid you £100. How do you feel?
Not impressed.
The independent valuation on this pair is between £150 to £200.
All right.
We've got 2 more bids.
Okay.
Karen has bid you £125.
I'd rather look at them for a little bit longer than part with them for that.
Tim's bid is left. Tim says £130.
I don't think I'd want to let them go for that.
I don't think so. I think you're right.
Well, just before you both agree, those 3 bids are all pretty close. So I'm going to bring those dealers back in and give them the opportunity to give you another bid.
We'd appreciate that, wouldn't we?
We would.
Come on in.
Hello.
Hello, come on in. Janet and Chris, meet Karen, Tim and Brenda.
Nice to meet you.
Our 3 secret dealers. Now, you 3, we are talking about this pair of candelabra. We have 3 bids on the table, and the leading bid is £130. Now, Chris and Janet, do you have anything to say to these 3 dealers?
Thanks for the bid, but I think that's about the price for one of them.
Optimism, I like a bit of optimism.
And if you want to take them home, you're going to need to give us another bid.
Okay.
We're all doing this surreptitiously, aren't we?
It's gone very quiet. I'm going to look at Brenda. Brenda has bid you £185.
That's a lot better. Thank you, Brenda.
Improving.
What do you mean improving? So I was being very generous then.
But is it enough to tempt you? Are you even thinking about it?
It is tempting, and I am thinking about it.
Good.
Tim? Says 169.
No chance.
Sorry, Tim.
Good effort, Tim, but no thanks. OK, so we've got Karen. Karen says 160. So top bid on the table is 185 from Brenda. What are you going to do?
I think that's reasonable. Yes, go on.
Very good.
Thank you very much.
Well
Thank
done, well done.
What made you change your mind?
Well, the fact I didn't realise they'd been professionally repaired, that made me reassess what I thought the value of them would be.
Brenda wanted them for herself and she went that extra £16.
I played it very cool to start with, and then we had to re-bid, and thank goodness, because I got them in the end.
Well, Brenda eventually stumped up for the candelabra, and Chris and Janet were happy to sell. They also accepted £100 from Tim for a 1950s gents 9-carat gold watch, £110 from Karen for a Victorian dog-shaped cast-iron doorstop, and Karen is also going home with those musical birds, whether she liked them or not. In total, our dealers bid on 26 of Chris and Janet's precious belongings, but just how much have they managed to sell? Time to reveal all.
Well, you sold a bit.
Yes?
You've kept a bit.
We have, yes.
And you've made today £970.
Crikey, that's very good. Thank you very much. I'll
good.
give that to my better
Thank you
half.
very much.
It's been great looking at your collection.
Thank you very
much for
much.
having us.
Very
It's
much
been a pleasure.
enjoyed it.
Our homeowners today have walked away with nearly £4,000 from the pockets of our secret dealers. So just how wisely did our dealers buy? Alison sold the gold cigarette holder bought in Roger's house for £1,100. Ian sold Roger's WMF pewter casket for £500 to his special client, and the claret jug he bought has been buffed up and put on display in his shop. Tim sold Chris and Janet's gold bracelet for £185, and the candelabra that Brenda bought are sitting proudly on her mantelpiece as part of her own collection of German porcelain. And what have our homeowners spent their money on? Chris and Janet are putting their cash towards refurbishing their swimming pool before selling up and retiring to Cornwall. And Roger? Well, Roger caught the dealing bug. He's not having his eyes lasered now, but instead is busy buying up stock in order to run his own stall trading at an antiques fair. Good luck to you, Roger.
Well, I'm afraid that's the end of this show, but I'll see you next time on Secret Dealers.